Roger Heaps. Who else have we got? Hang on. Bear with me. Refresh this. It's bloody freezing down here this morning. Are we on yet? We're not on yet. Come on. Come on, YouTube. You can do it. Everything's a bit slow this morning. It was a long day yesterday. I haven't even set the camera up yet. Alan Cook, first in the workshop. Good morning, Alan. Welcome back, sir. As you can tell, I've got my jacket on this morning because it's bloody freezing. And Mrs. Mechanic said you have to wear your jacket. You're not going to sit there for an hour plus just in your shirt. And she's right. It's bloody cold. Roger Heaps. Good morning, Andy and crew. Good morning, Roger. Harris Values. What's up, Andy? It's cold and I'm really tired. Vijayant Governor. Hello, Andy. Good morning, Vijayant. Welcome back, matey. Peter Swatman. Hi, Andy and crew. Good morning, Peter. Right, so what's Andy been doing this last week? Skip ads. Hang on. I want to see the live stream, see the quality. That's not too bad. Well, starting with Monday, Ben was down on Monday, so I worked from home. Went up to Auckland Monday night in the rain, because it's been raining in Auckland all week, and it's not been fun at all. Tuesday, I was in the workshop. However, didn't get out to do a run up to the North Shore, which wasn't too bad. Pick up a couple of bits and pieces and drop some special tools off at one of the outlets, one of the dealerships. And got to the workshop it was about 11 o'clock in the morning by the time I got there, after I got my coffee, of course, and grabbed a pie. And basically, my intention was to pick up the tools and crack on with the police bikes. But emails and phone calls had other ideas. Didn't pick up a spanner or a screwdriver or any tool until 1:30. 2.5 hours just stood in front of my laptop trying to catch up. And as I was trying to catch up, more and more stuff was coming in. So that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. I got a bit done in the afternoon. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I was in meetings all day, which were very good meetings, by the way. But they were meetings, and it was zero productivity in the workshop, unfortunately. And then Friday, what happened on Friday? Ooh, golly, Friday seems so long ago now. Friday morning, oh, that's right. Yes, I had to go down to Clark's Beach, which is about 45 minutes south of Auckland, and pick up a motorcycle. Nice sunny morning, actually, that morning. And then go back to head office, and then did a tiny bit of work in the workshop, and then back out to pick up another bike, and then back to the workshop and drop that one off. Did a little tiny bit in the workshop, and then back over to the North Shore again to pick up some steel and other bits and pieces, and I got stuck in traffic. Oh, and really stuck in traffic because there was an accident. Well, I say an accident, it wasn't really an accident. A cement mixer, one of the big cement mixer lorries, decided for some unknown reason to tip out all the cement on the most important road in New Zealand, State Highway 1. All 3 lanes were blocked with liquid concrete. So, 2 hours later, I made it through Auckland. Wasn't good. I also popped in to see Jared. I had some stuff to pick up for work, so I've got that in a box here, which will be going up to Auckland next time I go. We can take a look at what's in there. There's all sorts of stuff. And finally got home around about 9 o'clock. 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think it was. Obviously, I had the trailer on. And I had another bike to pick up, actually. As I was leaving Auckland, heading south, I popped in to see my friend Dave, who had been to his house earlier in the day, and I had another bike to collect. This time, Dave's highly modified flat tracker. Dave does a lot of racing, not just tarmac racing, but he also does flat track racing as well. And he'd sold the bike, and it had to go down to Fielding. Now, Fielding isn't very far away from the sawmill at Martin, where I get all my timber. Now, it's a very long way down there, and the only reason why I go down there is A, the timber's pretty good quality, and B, it's about 2/3 the price of the timber in Auckland. It's a lot cheaper. And Travis, the owner down there, does me a great deal. He's supplied me quite a lot of timber in the last year or so. So very grateful to Travis for helping me out yet again. And it was a very short notice order, and he got it all ready for me. So I did actually take a picture of the trailer. So I'm going to go on my emails and I'll bring that picture up for you right now of the timber that we picked up. It was about 3.5 hour drive down there. We met the guy for the bike at the timber spot in Martin. It wasn't too far from Fielding, about an hour's drive. So he drove from there, met us there, grabbed his bike, helped him load up, and then I had a clean trailer, big trailer by the way, to get all the timber loaded on, which is pretty quick. They're very efficient down there. And plus it was about 10 to 12 and they close at 12 o'clock. So the lad just, he really wanted to just, well, here we go, look. Bear with me. Download. We'll have that one. Will that work? Hang on, I'll just download it, then you get a full screen picture. Boom, 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 boom. Nearly there. Come on, YouTube. Right. Boom. Hang on. A bit slow this morning. Full screen. Right, I'll turn you around. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. So there you go. That is real time. That's outside the workshop. There's the big trailer. I know Jim wanted to see the big trailer. That's the Ifa Williams. It's a 5.7 meter deck by 2.3 meters. These are 6 meter lengths. This is nothing like the volume of timber that we picked up last time round, which was probably about 3 times the weight of what was on here this time round. And we've got some purlins, I think they call them. Those are going to go across the roof, and these are the main beams. These are 200 by 50, I think, from memory, and these are 50 by 75 or something like that from memory. So yeah, not cheap, but very good quality, and it's all outdoor timber. It's, you can see, oh, this is the fence we've been doing. You can see at the back, look. We've still got some little tiny inserts to put in. You can see they're just the little tiny gaps there, but it's nearly finished. Just a nice sunny day and not too much to do, and I'll get that finished. So it made it back, and that's a top trailer. Did extremely well, and cruising speed of about 83 kilometers an hour. It was quite happy at, because we had a little bit of an overhang at the back. So of course the trailer does start to snake around a little bit if you go too quick. But we got back in about, I don't know, just over 3 hours, I think it was. Didn't stop anywhere, other than for a pint and a coffee, obviously. Right, there you go. That's what I've been doing. So that was oh, come back. There we are, look. That was yesterday. And we got home about 4:15, it was. And I was knackered. I had a really, really long week. It'd been very long days, again with, admin work, first thing in the morning, and again on an evening. So not a lot of fun, in all honesty, but it was work, and it just had to be done. And I had to get that timber picked up in advance of Ben coming down. He's down here Monday morning. He's driving down from Auckland, and we're going to crack on with the roof for the new deck that we're building at the back of the house. And that's the roof timber. It's a stage build, all about budget, step by step, but we'll get there. We've spent a lot of money on timber over the last 12 months, so, got to take it easy. Don't want to blow the budget too much. I've got other things to pay for as well. Now, where have we got? Sheldon, need an Andy Mechanic jacket. I do have an Andy Mechanic jacket. It's in the car, but this one was to hand, so I just grabbed this one. George Bonnie 90. Hello, everybody. Good morning, George. George, been meaning to talk to you. I haven't seen your email come through with your address for your 10 Tools cap that you want. So if you please remember to find that through andymechanic@live.co.uk. It's in the description of this live stream. Daniel Bedell, good evening, Andy. Good evening, Daniel. Welcome back to the workshop, and thanks for taking the time out to watch the live stream. Bruce Cleaver, morning, Andy. Did you the game this morning? How's you? Did you the game? Bruce, English. How's you? I'm okay. Just pretty tired, and I've got a whole day of spraying to do today. We've got to get these 450 plates in paint before Ben gets down, so they can be drying during the week, and then maybe next weekend we can put the kits together, which would be great to get those out of the way, and then we can focus on the 700s. We have got rain scheduled for this next few days. So if we get rained off doing the roof, then we'll be straight back in the workshop and doing some more machining work, drilling and that kind of stuff on the 700 kits. Really need to get those done. In an ideal world, I'd like them all done by the time I finish this little mini holiday that I've got. Non-work time, non-daytime work time. And so I can take all the kits back up to Auckland when I go. That would be great. So I'm going to be down here for 2 weeks and then it's back up. So fingers crossed, we might just pull it off, hopefully. Mike Bazansky, good morning all. Good morning, Mike. Welcome back to the workshop. Connor K, morning Andy and crew. Sounds like an interesting week with all that cement and travelling. It was quite funny. I didn't know about the cement, or the reasoning for it. I did notice, obviously they tidied it up by the time I got there. I did notice this big sort of stain across the highway, which was very much cement colour. And then about 5 minutes later, I heard on the radio that a cement truck had decided to dump his entire load. And it wasn't just across one lane, it was across the entire motorway. So no wonder we had a major hold-up. Plus, it's children school holidays at the moment. So, Friday night, Friday afternoon, everybody's trying to get out of Auckland and go places with the kids. One thing I will add is once we got beyond, or the traffic started to move proper, the driving mannerisms of other drivers on the road, many of the drivers, was abominably bad. It was almost like somebody had just waved a start flag at a race. Everybody was speeding, lots of people undertaking, some pretty dangerous driving going on, to be honest. So I had to be super careful, because having a trailer, and the trailer that I had was quite low. And sometimes people don't realize you've got a trailer on. They try to lane split and stuff, and they can easily sideswipe the trailer. So you can be very, very careful, keep your eye open. And it was getting dark as well. Where do we get to? Ooh, Alan Cook again. Hiya, good morning, Alan. I did give you a shout out, Alan. John Dwyer, hi Andy and crew. A mini heat wave going on here in the UK. 34 degrees today, 40 degrees tomorrow. Wow, that's hot for England. But it looks cold where you are. Keep warm, mate. It is. It's actually really cold. And I'm a little bit concerned about having to do the spraying today because it's going to take a while to dry. And hopefully we won't get too much moisture in the paint. That's another problem we're going to have to watch out for. Jim K, hello. Jim, hope you got my email. Jim emailed me during the night because he lives in a different time world to me. And hopefully you got the message I sent through. That was the first thing I did this morning, Jim, before I got out of bed. You're so privileged, mate. Mike Adams, howdy, Andy and crew. Taking a short break from my working vacation. I go back to work at my job tomorrow to get some rest. I know exactly how you feel. When I got up to Auckland on Monday night after working my ass off with the family, Ben and Emma, Mrs. Mechanic, I was absolutely knackered. On the Sunday after the live stream, we were concreting and setting posts and digging holes and stuff. And we didn't start concreting until, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We knew we were going to lose the light. I had about 1,500 kilograms of concrete to mix up, about 1.5 tons. And we got it done in 3 hours. I was flat out with that cement mixer. And boy, did my arms know about it the following day. Where do we get to? Bruce Cleaver, sorry, bloody phone, watch the game. No, I didn't have any time at all to watch any kind of games, sport games and so on. It just didn't happen, just too busy. Often get back to the motel and just fall asleep on the bed for about an hour before I could do any admin work. Jelly Moto, morning from Christchurch. Good morning, Jelly Moto. Daniel Bedell, it's 83 degrees Fahrenheit here. I have no idea what that is. It's a temperature. I don't know where that is in the range compared to centigrade. I always forget how to work it out. JJ, morning, Andy and crew. Good morning, JJ. Daniel Bedell's back. I also messaged you on Facebook. Oh, I think you might have done actually, Daniel. Maybe I didn't reply. Hang on. Or maybe it's this morning. Oh, here we go. Look. Well done, Daniel. It's this interactive live stream. It's great, isn't it? I'm currently building a workshop at the back of my house. Very nice. You're going to have to send me a photo. How far have you got? Dum, dum, dum. Right, hang on then. Mike Adams. I used to drive a rear dump concrete truck in 2005. I have to admit, I've spilled a little bit of a load a couple of times, pulling out from intersections, especially on an uphill pull. It's quite funny actually, when I got to Dave's house to pick up the bike to go down the line, we call it, down south, he mentioned that when he was doing his big shed, he had many concrete trucks turn up, and he has a very long, very twisty, very narrow, very steep in places driveway. He has a wonderful property in the middle of nowhere. I'm very envious, man. It's a lovely place. It really is very peaceful, but some great terrain as well. Really, really cool place to go and play as well. And when one of his concrete trucks got there, he did actually say that he dropped about half the load on the drive. So Dave had to whiz out with a digger and get it all scooped up. Yeah, not ideal, to be honest. You only get so long before it goes hard, isn't that right? Nick Harrott, good day from Cupertino, California. Good morning, Nick. Welcome back to the workshop. Sheldon Rush, here we go. Look, 28 degrees C is the equivalent of 83 degrees Fahrenheit. 28. That's sort of pleasantly warm, isn't it? Pleasantly, it's not over hot. It's getting there. But man, wouldn't it be nice if it was 28 degrees here today? It'd be really good. Jeffrey Boyle. Spanner. Good man. Well done. And good morning and welcome to the workshop, Jeffrey. So, it is really cold. We're going to get the pie in early because, you know, breakfast and all that, getting warmed up. Now, I was looking, I picked this up yesterday. Where the hell was it? Oh, I know it was. It was a place called Waiouru, which is the southern point of Desert Road. Desert Road is quite a twisty road. It's part of State Highway 1. It's pretty twisty. There's some 25 corners, and it's notorious for black ice and snow, which is pretty rare in the North Island. But that particular road is quite high, and there's lots and lots of accidents. You might remember when I did the Rescue Charlotte videos. I was thundering down there with a little trailer heading to Queenstown, and the whole vehicle, including the trailer, slid round one of those corners. And it was pitch black. It was very, very early in the morning when I set off, and there was freezing fog, ice everywhere, and it caught me out. I mean, I was only going slow, but you know, when it's icy, and round the corner we went, but only just. Anyway, not too long later, I heard on the radio they closed the road because a truck had crashed on one of those tight corners. It didn't surprise me at all. I was extremely lucky. Anyway, so this came from Waiouru. It's an Oxford pies. And it's just the steak. Now, we have done the steak and cheese already, so we are scraping the barrel at the moment. I did call at 4 different shops to get a pie yesterday, and this was the only one that I could find that we hadn't yet done. So this is what it's going to be. So, without further ado, let's get this pie warmed up. Take a quick look. So, pie integrity. Obviously, a visual inspection, as us mechanics do, before we diagnose. Dum. It's got a couple of little cracks in there, hasn't it? Look, which could expand due to thermal expansion later on. They could open up. The base, pretty good. The lid, yes, not bad at all. And they haven't fallen for the trap of many pie manufacturers of putting marks and divots and cuts and stuff in the top of the pie to indicate what it is. Because they often, again, open up and they compromise the integrity, the structure of the pie, which is a bad thing. Okay. Let's head, I'll flip, oh, hang on, Daniel, I'll just get rid of that. So there we go. I'm going to turn you around and we'll go and find the pie warmer. Here we go. Boom. Dum. Keep it in focus, Andy. Keep it in focus. That's what it's all about. Good camera work. Doesn't always happen. Oh, yeah. Pie in the oven. Obligatory 23 minutes. I'm going to push it back a little bit. I am. Maybe I'll look. That's better. Right. Yes. No, I haven't cleaned the pie warmer yet. It is what it is. Us mechanics, we don't care, do we really? What should we do while we're here? Right, I'm going to have a quick look in this box first. This is what I picked on Friday. There might be some documentation which I need to remove, so just bear with me. Oh, there is some stuff. I'm just going to turn you around a bit. Hang on. You have a little look at the workshop for a second. Bom, 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 bom. I'll stick those inside the self-masking cabinet. You can't see them there. There we are. Right. Okay. Right. I'm ready. Sorry. Terrible, terrible camera work. I'm going to have to. So I'm going to turn you around. There we are. I can sit. I can frame the camera. There we go. So what have we got? Now this isn't for me, by the way. We've got insulation tape, premium PVC electrical tape. We need that. We've run out. We've got some cap head screws. What are those? Oh, M6 by 60s. Run out of those. There's some interesting stuff in there, not just nuts and bolts, by the way. M6 by 16 dome head. Very nice. All stainless steel, by the way. We don't mess around. What have we got there? Oh, some nuts. Flange nuts. Yes. M6 flange nuts. Perfect. And, oh, look at this. It's like Christmas. Now, we do have, obviously, a verniers in our workshop, which I discovered. I thought was just a dead battery, so I replaced the battery. And it turned out, I'm very close to the camera there, it turned out that it was broken. So time to order a new one, and obviously ordered a really good quality brand. This is the same brand as the one that I have here in my workshop, which is actually propping up the laptop at the moment, is the box. And that's nearly 25 years old. This one is brand new, and I've not even opened the box yet, so we'll have a look. In fact, I'll open it to camera. Hang on, turn you around. 3, 2, 1, boom. There we go. Look, bring you down. Try not to drop the camera on the floor. Right, what have we got? Oh, look at this. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Good quality gear. That's what I like. Oh, can I get in? Not just good quality gear. Hang on, we'll use the sharp edge of the tool. There we go, look. And we've probably got a little, that's the battery tab. Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. And what's the battery tab say? Battery, step 1, open, step 2, close. Oh no, orange. Oh, hang on then. Right, I think the battery's already in. No, there's no battery in it. Hang on. Do we not get a battery with it? My God, we don't get a battery. Let's go and find a battery. What the hell? I'm sure I've got a battery somewhere. Let's have a look in the drawer. Batteries. Batteries. That should be over here. Hopefully. Oh, yes. One battery. Okay. What's this one? It's an LR44, 1.5 volt. Pretty sure that's the right one for it. Oh, hang on. We've got a battery there, look. Well done. We'll use that one, because that's probably newer than the one I have. Right, turn you back down again. Boom, boom, boom. Bring you back. Okay, excellent. Didn't spot that to start off with. We'll have that. Try not to stab myself. Now, which way around does it go? I don't know. Should know. Doesn't tell me. Does it tell me on there? I think it's that way. I think it's that way around. Yes, it's on. Oh, it didn't like that, did it? Come out. Now you've done it, Andy. There we go. Fade out, fade out. Pretty sure it's right around. Does it tell me on the lid? Useless. Hang on. Where's mine? Let's have a look at the battery in mine. Bear with me. I'm sure it'll tell me in the instructions, I know, but this is mine. 25 years old. Oh no, I was right. It is battery down. So why is it not working? Right. Turn that off. Save the battery. Stick that over there. Right. Battery back down again. Boom. Stick the lid on. Nice. 0, 0. Why is that not working? It's not happy, is it? I'll have to have a look at that. Doesn't tell me. Pretty sure the battery's right. Have I broken it already? I don't know. We've done the closey thing. Oh, it feels nice. Feels very nice. I like that little wheel. Anyway, so there you go. I'm going to take the battery back out for now. There we go. I will look at that later on. Anyway, what else have we got? In the box. Boom, boom, boom. Very strange. Turn you around. There we go. Right. Live TV. Oh, yes, we've got some inserts for boxes. Stick those over there. We've got, very urgently required, believe it or not, some steel rulers because, again, didn't have any. I'll go and walk about. Some more bolts. What have we got? M6. Oh, more flange nuts. There we go. And, yes, well done, Jared. We needed some super glue. So Jared sent us down some K188 black super glue, not clear, which is perfect for a particular application. Thank you, Jared, for sorting that out. More stuff. What are these? M4x16 cap heads. Nice. M4x16. Some more of those. Yep. And, trapped in the corner of the box, we've got some M6x60s. Again, stainless steel cap heads. Very good. Thank you, Jared. And last but not least, we've got two of these really cool selection boxes. Very nice. And that's what we put the inserts in. So there's the box. I'll grab an insert, drop an insert in there. One of these is going to be for fuses, little tiny mini fuses that we've already got. We had nowhere to put them, so now we've got a dedicated box to put them in, so we know where they are, they're all together, and instantly how many we've got left. Very, very important. And of course, there is another one of those in the box. We've got two of those, so I'll tidy all that up later on off camera. Right, back to the bench. Boom. Okay, I've made a mess already in the workshop. Oh, I've turned the camera around the wrong way. There we go. What a numpty. Oh, coffee. Need a coffee. How's the camera? I think we're still a bit high there, aren't we? There we are. That's better. Perfect. So, yes, very, very good. I'm very pleased with this. It's done all sorts of things that it shouldn't have done over the years. One thing I do with my verniers, I know I shouldn't do, is I often use it to score down steel if I'm doing very accurate work. And of course that puts stress on the tool, but hey, you know what? It's lasted 25 years doing that, and it's still working great. Even the little magnetic strip on the top there, look, is working great. And that was the failure of the one at work, which was not this brand. It was, to be honest, a much cheaper brand. And it's very important you have quality tools, especially, you know, for measuring tools. You know, you don't want to fail on you or be inaccurate. Hang on, just scroll back a bit. You guys have been busy. Bum, 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 bum. Jeffrey Boyle, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, US. Thank you, Jeffrey. Daniel Bedell, but the humidity makes it feel like it's 103. Yeah, we get a lot of humidity, especially in Auckland. And you just spend the day sweating your nuts off, basically. George Bonnie 90, I just sent you an email, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's all right. Let's just check it's come through for you. Close that. We'll go on to sneeze mails. Do a refresh. There's a lot of glare in this workshop because there's so many lights. And we haven't got them all turned on at the moment either. Boom, boom, boom. Right, that's just refreshing. Hasn't yet come through, George. I'll check again in a minute. It might be, actually, it might be in the junk. Have a look in the junk for you. Spam folder. I'll let that just refresh. Right. Jeffrey Boyle, pies. Pies are nice. Jacob Vaughan, where in Taupo are you? I've got a holiday home in Kuratu. Nice place. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am because, you know, I'll just get hordes of fans and never get any work done. About a 35-minute drive west of Taupo, well, northwest of Taupo. How's that? That's about as good as you're going to get. So it's not too bad. I quite like it here. It's reasonably quiet. It's cold enough to stop people going out with the leaf blowers and lawn mowers this morning. So yeah, it's all right. I mean, I prefer a property in the middle of nowhere with no neighbours and a bit more land and a bigger workshop. But I actually like this workshop. I really like it. I just need an extra storage is what I need. Another shed. Christopher Labage, is that pronounced correctly? Hi Andy, how are you? I'm good. Looking forward to a pie actually. And we're going to be spraying all day today and probably again tomorrow morning before Ben gets down here. And then we can get all that out of the way and then we can focus on doing the roof for the new deck back of the house. It's quite a big deck. It's not quite square. It's got a couple of angles to the base of it, but the long side, which goes against the house, is about 8 meters long. The short side, further away from the house, is about 5 meters, I would say. One end, in fact, both ends do angle in, obviously, so you get the shorter length of the other side. But it's going to be great. Lots of room. Mrs. Mechanic will like it in the summertime. We'll get a hot tub or a spa put on there. So when I get here on a Friday night from Auckland and been working away all week, I can clamber into the hot tub, have a cigar, a pint, and I can feel like the Fall Guy, Remember the Fall Guy? Good bloke. Shame about his truck. Remember the jump at the start and the front axle bent when it landed? That wasn't cheap. I never forget that. Mind you, the water got through as many Fall Guy trucks as the Dukes of Hazzard got through Dodge Chargers, that's for sure. Jeffrey Boyle, LR44 Classic B+. Yes. Christopher Labage, love your videos of bike repairs. Awesome. From Massachusetts. Well, thank you, Christopher. Really appreciate that. Bit of a disclaimer on my part. Haven't done a video now for well over a month. Last one that I put out was doing the bushes on the Little Ifa Williams trailer. It's not deliberate. I really enjoy making videos. And I have got, and I can give you a bit of a spoiler alert now. Oh, your video, George, your email has come through and it's turned up in spam. So I'm just going to see if I can fix that. More. Remove from spam. There we go. So that should have gone back to my inbox now. Hopefully, unless I've just deleted it. Yes, there we go. I'll star it as well. Right, I've got that. We'll get that underway for you next week. So yes, spoiler alert. So I went to Alan's house during the week, and he has a couple of Triumph Bonnevilles, very nice little bikes. He is, however, going to sell one of them. And the one that he's going to sell currently has clutch stroke gearbox problems. So another project. The Bonnie is coming down to the workshop. I'll be picking it up probably about 3 weeks time. And we have got a complete engine strip down to do by the looks of it. It may just be a clutch problem, which means we don't have to strip the whole engine, I think. Never worked on one of those before. It's going to be a little journey that we can all go on. But we get to work on an old British bike. That'll be fun. So I better find a manual for it. So Simon, if you're around, might need your help on that one. But it's going to be great fun, and it should make some excellent videos. And once it's fixed, then Alan can basically get it sold. Go and buy something else. Because he doesn't need two bodies. One's fine. He can go and buy something different. Christopher Labage. How cold is it there? It's about 2 degrees C at the moment, Mrs. Mechanic was telling me when she told me to put my jacket on. Doctor of Computers, hit the like button. Thank you very much for that. Yes, hit the like button, guys. Now then, where do we get to? Christopher Labage, no, not concrete. Hey? No, not concrete. Oh, on the road, yes. Jeffrey Boyle, okay, thumbs up. Thank you, Jeffrey. Sheldon, the drawer inserts look handy. Need some of those. Right, Sheldon, you know where you can get them from. Jared has a big stack of those, and I'm sure he'll do you a great deal on them. Christopher Labage, a nice lathe in the background. Nice machine. It's been a brilliant little lathe, that Boxford. Very, very happy with it. We've also got a Myford in bits all over the workshop which is another project which is currently on hold. I still need to get a few little bits and pieces for it. I've forgotten what I still need to order, but there is, I think basically it's just grub screws and bits and pieces, just the small stuff. I think, oh, maybe some bushes, not sure. But that will resurrect itself at some point. But I'm just too busy. There's just loads going on at the moment. I've got a lot of fabrication to do at the moment. And of course this deck, and now the Bonnie's on the horizon as well. And I've still got Jared's go-kart to do, which is up there, which I'm really looking forward to doing. And I just want to give it, do some good videos on it. I don't want to rush it. I mean, I could do it off camera and probably have it all done in 2 or 3 days, but I want to film it because it's going to be cool and get the end result of it actually being driven, giving the kids fun. Not my kids, Jared's kids. Machine NZ, Kevin, morning Andy and crew. Cold up your way. Cold down here in the Naki. I bet it is. It's bloody freezing down here. A couple more degrees down and we'd have freezing fog today. It's really foggy at the moment. Seem to get a lot of fog in this area when it's cold. Jeffrey Boyle, Christopher, thumbs up. Cool lathe. Thank you. Richard Perry, morning Andy and crew. Sorry I'm late. GB, thumbs up. No problem, Richard. All good, matey. Right, time for a cigarette, I think. So, I've done the box of bits. Don't know what's going on with that Minitomo, whatever you call it. I can never pronounce it. The verniers. Don't know why it's flashing. I'm pretty sure I've got the battery around because it's the same as the other one. Don't know. Maybe the battery's flat. Don't know. I'll check it out. Work it out. It's not the end of the world. So, plan of attack today. Going to be spraying all day, pretty much. It's a big job. Again tomorrow morning, and then Tuesday right through until, well, Ben's here until Tuesday of next week. He's here for a whole week. So we're going to get as much done to the deck as we can. We've also got the timbers here and the, I might have enough builder's mix and cement. If not, I'll have to go and get some. So we can set all the posts for under the deck. And there's a lot of them, especially with having a spa pool or a hot tub on the deck. It needs to be super strong because they're pretty heavy when they're full of water. So hopefully, in between the rain showers, we can get all that done as well. And I was reading, because it's winter over here and we've got all the rain, I was reading about concrete and how long it needs to stay dry before rain can get on it. Now, this is only sort of foundation concrete. It's not concrete as in a slab. 8 hours, they say, from when you pour it into the hole, it needs to stay dry for the first 8 hours. After that, it can rain as much as it wants and it doesn't bother it. But if it rains within those first 8 hours, it can really it can dilute it, it can cause the top part of the concrete to turn just to dust and not adhere properly. So we've got to sort of pick our moments when we pour the concrete. But we can get all the holes dug and cut all the posts and get ready, as soon as we get a break in the weather, we can crack on. In the meantime, we can be back in the workshop, drilling holes and tapping holes and sandblasting. So it's going to be a very, very busy, very productive week, hopefully, with very long days, because we really need to make the most of this. Where do we get to? Peter Swapman, check for a dud battery. Those Mighty Toyo are very battery sensitive. Thank you. I've got another battery in my thingy, so I'll try that after the live stream. Sheldon, how many minutes for pie warmer? I need to get mine dialed in 12 minutes. No, I go for 23 minutes because my pies come out of the fridge, so it does take a little bit longer to warm them up. But we try to do all the pie. They all come out of the fridge. They're always in the fridge overnight before the live stream. So they're all starting from the same temperature. So I've found that 23 minutes seems to be about the magic number. Just to get it nicely crisp, but not over hot so I can't eat it, but crisp on the pastry. Certainly helps. Jeffrey Boyle, Richard, thumbs up, fingers up. JJ, question. Could the battery be round the wrong way in the old vernier? I don't think so. My old verniers work just fine. Peter Swatman, also try giving contacts a wipe with meths. Good call. Although the screen is lighting up really bright, so I don't know what's going on there. I'll work it out. Sheldon, thumbs up as always. Oh, it's cold. Coffee. So, tell me, guys, what have you been up to over the last week? What's been going on in your life? I've got some more stuff going on. Hang on. I've got another message from Daniel. Oh, my word. Right, hang on. I'm going to read this out. No, I haven't put the braces in yet. I'm waiting until near the end. Daniel's building a workshop. So he hasn't put the braces in yet. I'm waiting until near the end to make sure I don't short myself in materials to do that. As you can see, I already have marked out where I'm going to install the 30, 60 and 200 amp sub-panel box. Jeez, 200 amps. I've got all three windows marked out. I'm going to put a larger windows in the workshop, so I'm going to have to allocate for them enough. Even though I was going to put three 30-inch by 36-inch windows in the workshop, I'm going to install the ones I've got. The height of this workshop is 8 foot high, nice, and 12 foot wide and 13 foot in depth. And he's got some photos. So there you go, the panels are going up. Sorry about the glare. Boom, boom, boom. The wood. What's going on there? Oh, there you go. Look, you can see where the windows are going to go. Very nice. Good job, mate. And there's the windows, sat in the corner. So they're next to be installed. I must admit, I do like building sheds. When we had Foot and Mouth in the UK back in 2001, I think it was, from memory, a long time ago now, part of the agreement that we had, because our workshops were up at the farm, which is about probably 4 or 5k from the site, from the car park, the deal was that we had a workshop at the car park, and once the vehicles went down to site into the forest, they didn't to and from up to the workshop and back at the farm. We had to have a workshop down there. We didn't have a lot of money. In fact, we were very, very skint at that point because we'd been closed for a few months because of Foot and Mouth. And I built a workshop using nothing but reclaimed timber. There was a guy called, I think it was Michael Femby or David Femby, just up near Whitby. And he deals in reclaimed timber, and he did me a fantastic deal on the wood for it. And without his help, we would have really struggled. So, top bloke. A long time ago, though. Probably isn't around anymore because he was pretty old back then. George Buddy 90. How do you tap your holes? I've been using a drill and it's worked for me. Well, I'll show you. Hang on a minute. So, when Ben was here last, I was just about to set him on, tapping all the holes in... Hang on, I'll go and get one for you. In these. Now, these are part of the 700 kit. And I'd forgotten that we still need to do the final drilling. So they've all been done now. Ben did those. Knocked them out in about an hour. There's 214 of these little plates from memory. And that is a 6.8 millimeter hole. This is a 6 millimeter mild steel plate. And there is the M8 tap. Now, this is a Makita brushless drill, which has enough torque to basically go straight through that with the tap. So this gets mounted in the vise about 45 degrees, and then you can do both without having to move it. And then it's done, basically. And we use that Forge spray. I'll go and get the can, hang on. Somewhere. So this is the cutting lubricant that we use, which is, you can see it's had a hard life, this can. It's lasted a very, very long time. They just call it drilling and cutting foam. It hasn't got a number by the looks of it. Most Forge cans have a number just up there in the blue, but this one hasn't got it. But incredibly good. And the way that I apply that for speed is I get a lid off an aerosol can and spray a load of that into the lid, and then it settles. Oh, there's the pie. And then basically the foam then turns back to a liquid. and then I just basically just dip this in, you know, give it a little turn, dip it in, and then do the 2 threads, and then it's done. Out of the vise, stick the next one in, and we're pretty quick at doing them. I was a bit dubious to start off with. The only downside is sometimes, because of the torque, the actual bit, the tap can slip in the chuck, so I have to tighten the chuck really, really tight, which involves the use of the aluminium jawed vise, just to get it tight enough. It's not ideal. I should really get some taps that have maybe got, you know, a hex drive on them, which would solve that problem. So maybe Jared, if you're watching, M8, what is it, M8 by 1.25, I think it is. I'll get the box. Let's have a look. Yes. So there you are, Jared. M8 by 1.25 intermediate tap with hex drive. 2 of, please, if you wouldn't mind. Jared always watches the live streams, so he put the order together for us. And that'll just take the pressure off having to over tighten the chuck, because I hate doing that. Incidentally, the normal drill that I have, I'll go and get it. Hang on, back. In fact, we're going to have a look together because I finished the cigarette. Let's go and find that. Get rid of Daniel. Boom, boom, boom. Turn you round. Down here, my older Makita drill, which is that one. As you can see, it's done a lot of work. Bloody good drill. That one there. There's the spec. Was it a BDF 456? That does not have enough torque to do tapping. So I have to use the other one, which I actually bought for Ben as a Christmas or a birthday present or something. That one there, look. And then promptly decided to, he says, oh, you can keep it in your workshop, because at the time he didn't have a workshop. So it sort of lived here. And since then, he's gone and bought himself his own anyway. So it sort of lives here. Thank you, Ben, for giving me back your birthday present. Anyway, strange world we live in. So yes, works extremely well, and it's quick. It's really quick. Doing them by hand, it's not going to happen. There's way too many to do. Be there all day, and it'd just destroy my hands, wouldn't it? So yeah, you've got to automate wherever you possibly can when you're doing this kind of bulk fabrication work. Now, where do we get to? There we go. Daniel Bedell, what do you think about what I sent you on Facebook Messenger? I think you're doing an excellent job, matey. Very, very good. I tend to be more of a steel beam guy for my workshops, but you know, it's what you can afford, and what does the trick. You may not need this kind of stuff, and the only real reason why these steel beams went in was so I could remove that wall down between these 2 workshops. It was 2 garages basically that were built at different times, and there was a 3-foot concrete wall between the 2, which was so annoying. It really restricted the workshop. Now it's open plan, it's brilliant, but it took a hell of a lot of work to get there. But I kept the vision. I kept doing it. I know I haven't painted all the beams, and chances are they'll never get painted. I don't know. The main thing is, it holds the roof up. That's the important thing. Jeffrey Boyle, Peter. Oh, we're doing a lot of those today. Daniel Bedell, do you guys have either a Lowe's or a Home Depot there? We don't. We have a Bunnings, and we have a Mitre 10. And there is Hammer Hardwares here as well, but they tend to be pretty expensive and a much smaller shop. I tend to use Mitre 10 most of the time, probably because it reminds me of B&Q in the UK, same kind of colour scheme and stuff. And they do a good job. But Bunnings, I hate to say this, Mitre 10, Bunnings are quite often cheaper on some products, quite a bit cheaper. For example, those tech screws that we use, they actually are quite a bit cheaper at Bunnings. So I should go there for them, really. I was going to order them online. Screwfix from England, but I haven't got around to it yet. I'll try that. When I get a chance, I'll do it. Jeffrey Boyle, reclaimed timber, nice work. Yes, it did the trick. I mean, I think we used old scaffolding boards for the floor, which were quite thick. Yeah, good and strong, did the trick. I mean, the workshop, it was very busy. It was strong enough to drive 4-wheel drives in as well as just quad bikes and stuff, which was great. And it was elevated, and we had ramps going up the front, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And then when we finished down there, we built it in sections, just like Daniel's doing with his workshop. And then we took it all down, put it on the big flatbed trailer, a different one to this one, took it back to the farm, reassembled it, and we had another workshop at the farm, which then was dedicated for doing ATVs. Really good. So we benefited long term from it as well. Ian Playworth, I'm opening the vernier to its full extent, then close them to calibrate it. Oh, try opening. Okay, let's give that a go. Hang on. We will try. Never had this problem with verniers before. You normally just put the battery in and everything works. Maybe it's just telling me it's too cold, which wouldn't surprise me. Right, we've got the flashing bit there, look. So I'm going to open it all the way up. Still flashing. All the way closed. It's not happy. Pressing all the buttons. It's not happy at all. They don't normally do that, obviously. Do I try the battery the other way around? Don't know. There should be some markings on it, shouldn't there, really, to say which way up. Okay, I'll try it the other way up. Here we go, it's going in. Andy's confused face. Nah, nothing. Nothing that way up, so we're definitely right. Oh, why it's not working. No idea. Doesn't even turn off. Don't know. I'm going to take the battery out for now. I'm going to investigate further. Where can I put that and not lose all the bits? Over there, look. Good idea though. Give it a try. Anyway, wait. Pie's about ready. Gonna have to go grab the pie. Keep going. Scroll back. Sheldon, that Forge alloy based grease is really good stuff. It is. It's excellent stuff. I have got a new can. Let's go and find that. I don't want to get the one out that I'm using because it's a bit grubby. But there we are. Look up here in my sort of spares stuff. This. Take it over to the bench. This stuff is absolutely excellent. S424. This is what Sheldon's on about. Get rid of that. Turn the camera around. All sorts going on. Last thing before we start the pie, because I'm getting hungry. Right, there we go. Honestly, how can this camera not be level second time around? Right, so there you go. It even comes with a little brush applicator. Now, if anybody from Forge, including Jared, obviously, is watching, these cans, and I'm sure, in fact, Sheldon, here's a job for you. You'll like this. These cans tend to be a little bit top heavy, and they've only got a small base to them. And when you've got the brush on there, it's quite easy for them to fall over, and then all of a sudden the brush gets contaminated, and you've got contaminated, lubricant, which is bad. You don't want that. If you get grit in there and stuff, it's a bad thing. So, Sheldon, I think what you should do, because you use this as well, is you should make a nice aluminum base that this pushes onto and gives it a little bit of weight. You could make it out of steel if you want, because obviously it's heavier. Something where it can actually just push down with a nice interference fit. Give it a shove down, and that'll give it a nice base, so it's not going to fall over in the workshop. If you can make a couple of those, one for you and one for me, that will be absolutely fantastic. You've got some homework. Right, where do we get to? Now then, Jim Haynes at the at the track, at the Speedway. Is it Speedway you call it over there? Good man, Jim. Have fun, and well, may the best driver win. Christopher Labage, got to go. Have a great day. No problem, Christopher. Thank you for joining us on this cold, frosty morning. Machine NZ, Kevin, is there a Forge website to purchase from? There is a Forge website. Best thing to do though is to call Jared. He will be able to direct you. I'll give you Jared's. No, he won't mind me giving you this out on the live stream because it's a business mobile number. Let's find that. So Matt's on there as well. It's all going on now. Jared, where's his number? Jared. Here we go. Right. 021 081 30780. I'll do that again. 021 081 30780. And that's a chap called Jared. He has the importation rights and distribution rights for Forge products here in New Zealand. Very, very helpful chap. got me out of many sticky situations where I've been desperate for some kind of product. Whether he sells it directly or can source it for me, he's really good at that kind of stuff. He knows his industry extremely well, and he's been in this industry, or his industry, for a very, very long time. So he has a lot of contacts, and he knows who supplies what. Mike Adams, I'm back. I was pulled away by the 2.5 women talking to me about 3 subjects simultaneously. Yes, that happens a lot, doesn't it? Sheldon, at Machine NZ, sure is. There you go. Marcin. Oh my word, there's so much to get through. Marcin, hey Andy, greetings from Poland. What kind of pie would you try today? We are on Oxford pies, and it's the steak only pie. We've done the steak and cheese already. This is the only one that I could find on my travels yesterday that we haven't yet done. So we're going to dig into that. In fact, right now, good segue. Let's go and get the pie, because it'll be getting cold. It's a very cold day today. Okay, not too fast, Andy, not too fast. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, look, thermal expansion has caused a huge lifting of the lid. This is not good. Okay, right, nice and crispy. Very good. What's the side like? Oh, the side's not too bad. It hasn't opened up, but we've got some failure of the adhesion of the top there, look. There we go. Right, I'm getting Daniel's firing me through all sorts of messages on Facebook at the moment. Okay, turn you around. Sorry, Daniel, get rid of that. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Right. Pie time. Okay, quick close-up at the workbench. Proper inspection. There we go. Look, you can just see it's not too bad around here, but as we go further around, there was some definite lifting of that lid. Round there, look. You can see. I'm not going to force it and break it, but you can see there, look. We've lost some of the adhesion. So you've got to be aware of this kind of stuff when you're a professional pie eater, and especially if you're going to be driving at the same time. Not good. So Oxford Pies, established in 1977, so they've had a long time to work out how to make the best pie in New Zealand. It says here, a Kiwi legend. 100% New Zealand made, and it's a 220 gram pie, which is a little bit bigger than the standard, which is nice. Okay, just getting organised. Got my pen. Okay, we're going in. So I'm going to, as always, look for the weakest point first, which I think is going to be that lid area, or it might be the side. What do you reckon? Should we go for the side? Let's do the side. Oh, that's hot. That's really hot. Ooh. I didn't do the testing nibble. Made a mistake there. Right. Oh, hang on. Let me scroll back because you guys are way ahead. Mike Adams. I know a little bit behind. I know. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit behind, but I caught you talking about setup time for concrete. When I was pulled away, yes, 8 hours to set up before exposed to rain, no matter the mix, and concrete stroke masonry takes at least 20 years to fully cure to its hardest state. Is that right? 20 years? I can't wait that long. But no, 8 hours. Thank you very much for confirmation on that, Mike. When we did Ben's shed just down there, it actually started to rain as Mrs. Mechanic was levelling off the last slab. And they did sheet it up and everything, but unfortunately the rain, the moisture did get in, and it did spoil one of the slabs. Much to Ben's disappointment, most unfortunate. So I'm very wary of that kind of stuff now. Scroll back left-handed. Jeez. Daniel Bedell, 15 holes, 15 posts, and 14 panels in one day. Mate, you make me look like an amateur. I am so slow these days. It's unreal. Machine NZ, Sheldon Rush, what's the site, please? Oh, private conversation going on. If you Google Trosco Industries, I think it's called, or Trosco Limited. You Google Trosco Limited, that's the company name, and Forge is the brand that they sell. Trosco. Mike Adams, Sheldon, put an O-ring inside the base for retention. You're a legend. Do it. Mike Adams. As far as the base for your spray can, it can also be turned out of a block of heavy wood. Nice. Such as oak or lacquer or oil-based polyurethane. You could do that. I'm going to leave it for Sheldon to come up with a design and make something, because he loves making stuff on his lathe. Don't you, Sheldon? Just like me, really. Very creative he is. Very, very clever, in fact, when it comes to machining stuff up. Marcin Rudziński. I saw you have there a sanding cabinet. Yes, sandblasting cabinet. It's a dream stuff for me to bring back my Saab parts to look new. It's a very, very useful cabinet. It really is, but it works extremely hard. I mean, it can be running for 8 hours a day, maybe 10 hours a day, no problem at all. And it took us a while, and I'm going to do a video of like a recap of all the problems that we've had with it and how we've sort of solved those problems. Some of those problems are my pure ignorance of not knowing how to set up a sandblasting cabinet. But others, more recent ones, are more to do with sort of fine-tuning it, making it more efficient in the fact that it's quicker to sandblast stuff, because we've got a lot of sandblasting to do and it's very noisy. Okay, so we're 2 bites in, I think, maybe 3. The pie tastes okay. I mean, it's a cold morning, it's nice to have a hot pie. It's doing me a world of good. Taste, stroke, flavour, contents. Looking at the contents, that's not the pastry, the contents, just the meaty bit. It's quite sort of jellified. I don't see a lot of meat, and I see a hell of a lot of gravy. So, and that's not a piece of meat out the front, just for clarification, that's a lump of gravy. So obviously the volume of the meat is down, and they've made up the volume by adding a lot of gravy to it, which is cheap. Gravy's cheap, meat's expensive, so bear that in mind. So that was all gravy. Gravy doesn't taste bad, but at the end of the day, it's a steak pie. It needs to have a good quantity of steak in there. So, taste, stroke, flavour. I'll give it a 7. A 7. It could be better. We've had better. Structure fully partners, too early to tell, but we'll keep note. It's hanging in there at the moment. We've got no real problems going on at the moment. Quite happy with it as it is as a pie. The lid's staying in place despite the lift on one side. Runnability test. I think we need one more bite for that because we've not really got a true section across the pie. Any excuse for a bite of pie. It's good. Okay. Now, I'm just going to open it up because I just squashed it down a bit. So, there we are. We have got a small piece of meat hanging out here. Should I nibble that off? I'll nibble that off. That was mainly gravy. Okay, 45 degrees, 30 seconds limit. If it starts to ooze out real quick, I'm going to abort mission because I don't want to lose my pie. Okay, there we go. 45 degrees. Is it going to stay put? This is actually a really critical test that I've never seen any other pie tester do. And this is why the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel is well known for professional, in-depth pie reviews, covering many aspects other than just the flavour. You know, it's got to be a pie that's suitable to be eaten in many different working environments. And the runnability test is definitely one of them, because the last thing you want is a pie structurally becoming compromised and the contents getting all over your hands, down your front. You know, that becomes a pie-tastrophe. It's bad. And pie design, I believe, is critical. You know, it's a fundamental point when building a pie. And some of the pies from the dairy, especially the ones that they make themselves, you get them, they're soggy, they fall apart, they just tear open, the contents just ooze out. Mrs. Mechanic had a chicken tikka one the other day, and it just, by the time she got halfway through it, it was just a mess of pastry and contents. Luckily inside the bag, she's an expert at eating pies. Not that she eats that many, to be fair, but she's very good at eating them, very conscious of monitoring them during the consumption process. And she managed to pretty much save the day with it, but she did get some on one of her fingers, and I had to finish the pie for her because, you know, she'd had enough. She aborted mission on it because it was just falling apart. Okay, so runnability, very good. It was pretty much rock star. I'll give it a 10. Very good. I can't not give it a 10. There was no movement whatsoever. Meat quality, we're going to go downhill now. So again, you can see just really lots and lots of gravy. No big chunks of wholesome beef or steak in there. It's just like eating a congealed gravy, really. There you go again, look, you see, that's all it is. Little tiny bits of meat and probably 90% of the contents are gravy, which is not good at all. Meat quality, it's going to be down 3, 4, 3. I'm going to go with a 3. Very poor so far. If we find all the meats down the bottom of the pie, then I may bring that back up a little bit. Now, pie to crust ratio. Again, very important. Nobody wants a big block of pastry with nothing in the middle. It's not bad, actually. There is quite a lot of volume to this pie. The sides, especially in the joining points up here, are quite small. No big thick walls of pastry, which means they can get more contents in, or in this case, more gravy in there. So that's not bad. I'm going to give it, oh, pardon me, remember that? That's 1. That's 2. I'm going to give it, pie crust ratio, I'm going to give it an 8. 8, maybe 9. No, I'll give it a 9, actually. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's actually very thin pastry, and it's coping pretty well. Now, availability logistics, a very important one. There's no point in the pie being the best pie on the planet if it's only available in one place, Timbuktu, for example, middle of nowhere, and you've got to travel thousands of kilometres to get to it. It's not going to happen. You're not going to eat that pie. Oxford pies, not as sponsors of the channel. Do I want them to be? Not particularly, in all honesty. I'm sure we can do better than these. What was this one? The logistics. So yes, it's dairy sort of stuff. Can you buy them in supermarkets? I don't know. Let's have a little look. I haven't seen them in supermarkets. Google. There's Google. Right, Oxford pies. Oh, can't spell. Oxford pies. Oxford pies, award-winning pies. We love pies. Nice. We have been on, shop now. I like that. Okay, I'm going to show you this bit. Turn you around. Okay. Coming down. There we are. Look, Oxford pies, shop now, which means can we buy them online? Free delivery for orders over $60. So they do online pie stuff now. I'm pleased we checked. This is excellent. And this is actually Oxford Pie's own website. So you can buy them online, which I don't think you could do last time we checked. So they're definitely moving forwards. So you can buy them online, very important. You can buy them at a lot of different dairies. Can you buy them at supermarkets? I haven't seen them in supermarkets, to be honest. And they're based in Hamilton. Wow. Okay, so what are we going to give them? I think we should give them, turn you round, boom. I think we should give them, because they've done the effort of being able to buy them online, which means anywhere in New Zealand you can buy them now, and they'll turn up in a nice box. Dairies and online, I think they get an 8. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll give them an 8. Now the ones that are in the dairies are normally pre-warmed. This one I picked up yesterday was hot when I picked it up. Lots of gravy, hardly any meat. Now, pastry taste rating. It's almost like eating a soup out of a pie. It's weird. Okay, a bit of side pastry. Any weird aftertaste? Yeah, it's all right. It's not great. I want to steal a bit of lid. Here we go, a bit of lid coming off. Crispy-ish. There's no weird aftertaste, but there's not a lot of flavour there. I'll give it a 5. Sort of run of the mill, average. Still tasty when cold. It's too hot yet, but it is cooling down really quick today. Packaging design. Okay, now I don't remember what I gave Oxford pies when we did the steak and cheese one. So of course my scores are going to probably vary a little bit from day to day, but I'll do my best. They've got a little window at the front so you can see what you're buying. It looks pretty traditional. The packaging is perforated. It's perforated plastic, so it helps the pie to breathe, which is good. It helps to avoid the pie going all soggy. Although I always warm them up out of the bag. I've learnt my lesson. Don't warm them up in the bag. Sometimes it ends up in a, getting plastic stuck to the pie, which doesn't taste very nice at all. And I can speak from experience. Lots of information on the back. What they're going to get. Oh, I think somebody spent a while doing that, trying to get the traditional, traditional look sorted. I'll give them a 7. I think a 7's fair on that one. Packaging design. Now, is it recyclable? We live in a world where we're all very conscious about recycling stuff these days. Is it recyclable? I don't know. It's plastic for a start, which is looking bad. It says here, it's got a little dustbin down the bottom there, look. It says, keep New Zealand clean, dispose of your wrapper thoughtfully, i.e. put it in the bin. There is no sign on there for recyclableness. So, we have to assume that this packaging is not recyclable. They do tell us to put it in the bin. At least they tell us to do that, or ask us politely. I'm going to give them 1. And that's it. That's all they're going to get. In this day and age, with all the modern materials out there now that derive from plants and that kind of stuff, there is absolutely no reason why this packaging can't be recyclable or biodegradable, whatever you want to call it. There's no mention of that on there. It's just regular plastic. So Oxford pies, you need to pull your socks up on that. More and more people out there are getting more and more conscious about that kind of thing. So, post-pie heartburn, too early to tell. We'll put that one on hold. Stuffability score. Not really stuffed, to be honest. I'm only, I'd say, 2/3 the way through. Now, I would say there, in that mouthful, that was the first mouthful, the first bite that contained any real kind of meat content. Previously to that, it was just little tiny strands or little tiny nuggets of meat. That was a reasonable chunk of meat, but it did collapse and disperse very quickly. Is it well cooked? Because I think it's almost like shredded steak that's in there rather than steak chunks. Now, pie server attractiveness. This was a takeaway sort of dairy place in Wairuru, which is at the southern point of Desert Road, State Highway 1. Oh man, she was pretty old. I would have said she was probably late 40s, early 50s. I'm going to give it a 3. Sorry. Yeah. Didn't feel particularly attracted at all to that one. Sorry. Now, structure Foley Partners. It's done pretty well. Quick review of what we've got left, which isn't very much. It is still steaming, but don't get any ideas that it's hot because it isn't. It's just so cold in the workshop. There aren't, there's no cracks. I'm not struggling to keep the thing together. So it's done pretty well despite having a couple of cracks and the lid just lifting a little bit. I think it does quite well. I'm going to give it an 8. I think 8 is a reasonable score for that one. Still tasty when cold. It is cooling down very, very quickly. So the underlying question here is this a pie that I would eat cold? Maybe I found it in the glove box. It's been there a couple of days. I bought it. Suddenly the phone rang. I had to hit the road. Didn't have time to eat it. Stuffed it in the glove box. 2 days later, You get the hunger. Oh, I remember. There's a pie in the glove box. I'll eat that. Is this one of those pies that you could eat cold? I think it is. I think it is. I don't think it's going to taste horrendous. I think it's going to taste okay. It's going to do the job. It's going to satisfy that hunger, and quickly. It's available. So, still tasty when cold. I'm going to give it. It's not going to be awesome. I'm going to give it maybe a 6. I think a 6 is fine. It's okay. It's doable. It's above the 5. Back to the comments. Now, oh, hang on. I've got to catch up. I've been out of comments for a bit. Sorry. Jeffrey Boyle, 1977. You know it's good. It should be. Plenty of practice. Daniel, sorry, but when I can save people time and energy on back-breaking work, I get excited and I feel like I have to share what my experiences are with an unfamiliar product. Absolutely. No, I have no problem at all, Daniel. Scott, so late. We'll recap in the morning. Hello, Andy and crew. No problem, Scott. All good. I think Daniel sent me another message regarding a product. So just hang on, Daniel. Oh, Sicker Fence Post Mix. Bear with me. So this is what Daniel's been using to set his posts. This stuff. And there is a big outlet in Auckland that sells this stuff. Not the best picture in the world. I can only really read the title. Sicker Post Fix. I can't read any details on there, Daniel. Sorry. But I suppose for some people, I mean, give us some feedback. Was it any good? Does it work well? Does it set quickly? How expensive is it? I don't know. I don't use it. Where do we get to? Marcin. Andy, what temperature is it there? 2 degrees C. Is it wintertime in New Zealand now? In Poland, we have full summer beam, 30 degrees C. It is. It's pretty chilly this morning. We're sort of in the frosty season, you know, we get frost sometimes in the mornings. It doesn't get really, really cold down here. It does get a lot colder obviously further south that you go, Queenstown, Invercargill, Oamaru, that kind of, you know, Ida Valley, coldest place in New Zealand, so they say. So yeah, 2 degrees. It's sort of fresh, you know, it's fresh, and it's quite foggy outside. It was when we started the live stream. So stuffability score has that, you know, do I feel stuffed? Yeah, not bad. Do I feel satisfied? Not really. It wasn't a particularly wholesome pie. It did the job. That's about as good as I can say. I'm going to give it a 5. Not great. Post pie heartburn factor. Been a couple of burps. Don't feel bad. Not in agony or anything like that. I'll give it an 8 for now. That might change. We'll see how things pan out once I start working, you know. So, have I got all of them? Let's have a little tally up. We should have 13 scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right. Time to score the pie. And the pie is, just for recap, an Oxford pie. It's made here in New Zealand. Established 1977. It's a steak pie. Only steak, no cheese, nothing like that in there. And it's a 220 gram. And it was purchased yesterday from a little place called Wairuru, which is at the bottom of the State Highway 1 Desert Road. A notoriously dangerous road. Okay, so get rid of that. Join me in some arithmetic. Let's get you set up somewhere. There we are, look. Okay, hopefully you can see everything. Quick tally up. I'm sure you guys have already added this up. So we've got 15, 25, 28. Oh, another burp. 37. In fact, where's the burp? Hang on. Oh, golly. Down to 7 now. We'll start again. 15, 25, 28, 37, 45, 50, 56, 63, 64, 71, 76, 79. That's what I reckon it's going to be. I'm not going to add it up again. 79 is the score. Not a great score, Oxford pies, to be perfectly honest. I wonder how it compares to the steak and cheese. Right, Oxford pies. $79. Okay, let's go and see where that ends up on the leaderboard. I don't think it's particularly pie-tastic, do you? Not a pie-tastic score, that one. Okay. Terrible. Right, so first of all, let's find... Oh, there he is, look. Oxford pies, steak and cheese, 220 grams, so the same weight, got 88. This one got 79. So cheese makes all the difference, doesn't it? Right, well, luckily we've got a bit of a gap. It's not often that happens. Okay, so we'll stick that in there. 79. Oxford pies, steak. So pretty much on a par to the Mackenzie lamb, rosemary and mint that I'm not really a fan of. And the Wild Bean Cafe buffalo chicken that was quite spicy is just below. So Oxford pies, not a great pie. Does the trick. Fills a gap. That's about it. Oh, and hardly any meat. Wonderful. Oh dear. Right, back to the bench. I do like my workshop. I think we've got a cracking little workshop going on here now. And it's only going to get better. Very happy. Mrs. Mechanic did promise me another coffee. And what a nice hot coffee. Hasn't turned up yet. I wonder why. She can't have gone back to bed, surely. No way. She knows we've got stuff to do today. She won't go back to bed. Jeez, right, we'll get rid of that. Oh, time for another cigarette for sure. And yeah, I'm not sure about those verniers. I hope they work. I'll send them back. Jared. It's not his fault. All good. Right, so comments. Where do we get to? Scroll down, scroll down. Done that one. Poland. Okay, V8 Burgundier. Greetings from Scolding, Portugal. It's been pretty hot in Portugal. Very arid down there, isn't it? Never been to Portugal, though. I don't think so. Don't think we call it Portugal. Marcin. Pie catastrophe. Nice. It is. A nice word. In opposite, it's a pie-tastic, right? Yes, absolutely. So pie-catastrophe is when pie basically has a structural failing or something falls out or along those lines. That sure as hell wasn't a pie-tastic pie. It wasn't a pie-tastic experience. Definitely not. Scott, superb pie management demonstrated by Andy Mechanic. As always, pure class. A man truly at the top of his game. Thank you, Scott. Now, we do have somebody at the door. Bear with me. Hang on a second. Just turn around a fraction. Dum, dum, dum. Oh, cold. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. Cold enough? As if on cue, we got the next coffee from, dare I say it, not a sponsor, but a good mate, Colin Furs. What a bloke. Excellent stuff. Right, we can crack on. We've got nice hot coffee and a cigarette. Things are going well in the Andy Mechanic workshop. Productivity is zero, obviously, but, you know, this is my time with you guys. Have a chat. Friendly chat on a Sunday morning. My Sunday morning. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. I must admit, there seems to be a lot more YouTube channels now doing pie reviews. And in fact, I think, didn't Colin Furs do a pie review not too long ago? I think he might have done. Maybe. Wonder where you got that idea from. I don't mind. More pies, more pie reviews around the world, the better. It's a good thing. Might make those pie manufacturers up their game a little bit, because some of them they really need some major improvements. Some are really good, as we've seen on the leaderboard. Others, not so good. Nice. I could do with my cardboard back. Hang on. These workbenches are made of big, thick steel. I mean, this one's got, what is it, a 6mm top, and there's another sheet of 6mm on top of that. So it's like a, almost half an inch of solid steel that's freezing cold. It draws the heat out of the mug really, really quick. So, top tip, bit of cardboard, insulator, helps to keep your coffee just that little bit warmer. I should dig out my holly mug actually, because that was really good. It's in the house somewhere. Now she'll keep it warm. Where do we get to? Oh, Viet Bergner, you are a lot better than us, Martin. We hit 47 degrees C yesterday. Forest fires everywhere. 47. Could you imagine that? I mean, it's been about, I think 40 is about the maximum for New Zealand, really. It doesn't happen very often. Height of summer. But 47, man. When it's 40, it's too hot to get any work done. 47, man, you just, that's it, game over for the day, isn't it? You go and find some air conditioning somewhere. Jeffrey Boyle, I agree, recycle, exactly. Mike Adams, Andy, you should invent a 12-volt glove box mini cooler stroke refrigerator insert for pie storage. That is a brilliant idea. We should do that, shouldn't we? We should really do that, because if you know you've got a spare pie kicking around in the car, it's that feeling of you've got the backup. It's there just in case. If you get stuck in that traffic for 2 hours because somebody's dumped his concrete on the main road, and you get a bit peckish, you've got that pie to go at. Obviously not while driving. You'd have to stop and eat the pie. I couldn't endorse eating pies while driving. That would be, a bad thing. Daniel, my local Lowe's sells it for $15.28 per bag. Is it one bag per hole? I suppose it depends how deep the hole is and how big the diameter is. But yeah, I mean, what's it cost me to mix up? Builder's mix is pretty cheap, the sand and gravel, and it costs about $10 for a bag of cement. And to be fair, we've been pretty big on the foundations for these posts. Probably 2 mixes, which is probably 1 bag of cement per post, so $10 a post, plus a bit of builder's mix. So price-wise, it's probably a little bit cheaper to mix your own concrete than it is to use those bags. Although, to be fair, if I was using those bags, I don't know quite how big they are, I'd probably have to use more than 2, which means it's a lot more expensive, actually, as things would turn out. So I don't mind mixing concrete, quite enjoy it. Something a bit different, I don't like digging holes, but I quite enjoy mixing concrete, getting it just right, just so it flows, but it's not all sloppy, And when I'm setting the posts, I tend to go for a slightly more sloppy mix, because that way it sort of fills all the voids nicely and makes it good and solid. But hey, I'm not a builder. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it should be more of a rigid mix, I don't know. Mrs. Mechanic has a post, a stick that she sort of tramps it all down to make sure it's all the air bubbles are out and stuff. But we don't have any kind of vibrating tool to do it. Not yet. Maybe one day. Sorry, Daniel says at my local. Local Lowe's. Got you. It's all good. Harry, I've been a while since I've seen you. Hi Andy. It's been a while since I've seen you. It has, Harry. Hope you're all good, matey, and you're recovering well. Daniel, that's how I was able to get all of the fence work done in one day. That's really that's a 2-man post auger. Okay. You used a 2-man post auger. Good job. Harry, which one was the nastiest pie you've ever eaten? Oh, without any doubt whatsoever, the meat not meat pie from Wellbeing Cafe. Wholly disgusting, in all honesty, and should be outlawed immediately because of trade descriptions. They call it a meat pie, a beef pie, I think it was, or even a steak pie, it could have been. And it isn't. It's made of plants, and it tastes weird and horrible. And as it cooled down, it really should have gone in the bin. It was just foul, in all honesty. Marcin, so there's a lot of black tape next to your laptop. Does it mean some new project on the horizon? Oh no, you just joined us. That is some stuff that I picked up from Forge on Friday. That actually is for work. We've got a lot of stuff going on at the moment with wiring harnesses and things on police bikes. So we pretty much run out. We're down to our last roll. So it was a quick stock check, see what we needed, and get the order fired through to Jared because he's a good guy. He does all the running around for us. AFT, pies and what? Schnitties, whatever they are. Don't know what a schnitty is. Connor K, yes, Portugal is warmer than usual, and there are some wildfires. They've had some wildfires in the UK as well, haven't they? Some bushfires, or probably moorland fires, not knowing them. Daniel, it should be 2 bags of concrete mix for a 3-inch hole. That's the rule of thumb. 3 foot. 3 foot, sorry, for a 3-foot hole. Right. The holes that we dug were approximately 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters square and 70 centimeters deep. And inserted into that was a 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter post in section. Obviously, it was about 4 meters long from memory. So a really good foundation for those posts. Those posts are the main posts for the roof, not deck posts. The deck posts won't need to be as deep. They'll probably be, I don't know, 40 or 50 centimeters tops, because there's a lot of those to go underneath the deck to give it support. They won't need to be anything like as deep or use anywhere near as much concrete. That's the plan. Richard Perry, Andy, in the UK, Monday, Tuesday, 37 degrees Celsius. Wow, 37. That's getting up there, Richard, isn't it? That's pretty damn hot. And on a working day in a workshop without any aircon, you're going to be sweating your nuts off, mate. Especially if you're wearing overalls. Mike Adams. My dad was a brick mason for 30 years of his life before starting his own concrete pumping business. So for 20 years of my life, I've lost count on the hundreds of 34 kilogram bags of mortar I've mixed. Wow, 34 kgs. I think there are only 20 kg bags here in New Zealand. Only little bags. So one of those 20 kg bags is about $10 something plus GST from memory. And GST is 15%, by the way. Peter Swatman, I always use a quite dry mix for fence posts as it tends to hold them better. All of our posts that we set, obviously they're all set vertical and they've got stays on them and stuff as well. So it's not too bad. One thing I have to warn Ben about, because he hasn't done a lot of concreting, is when you pouring the concrete into the hole, that you do it evenly around the post. He did drop a load in out of a wheelbarrow the first time we did it, and I could visibly see the post shunt slightly. So you'd be aware of that. I'm no expert at all. I'm not a builder. But just the common sense stuff, you've made your post nice and vertical, you want it to stay vertical, just bring your concrete up evenly around the post. It's a top trick. Harry Dog, 90 degrees here in Florida. We'll trade your weather. I bet you would. You'd love it down here at the moment, nice and cold. Aft, Schnitty or Palmy, not sure if you have that over there in New Zealand. Schnitzel, never heard of it. The nearest we get to schnitzel is a chicken schnitzel. Daniel Bennell, at $10 a bag of concrete mix times 2 bags per hole, then times however many holes you have digging. It's cheaper and easier just to use 1 pouch of Silk Post fence mix. I only use 1 bag of concrete per hole, and that will do 2 mixes approximately. There's usually a little bit left over. So I don't know. It's going to be close, isn't it? I just like mixing concrete. I'm going to stick to the way I do it. How long does it take for the thicker mix to harden up? That could be a bonus. That could be a reasoning if you want to get the job done quick and the weather's threatening and it's going to rain. And is it affected by rain? There's another question. You know, does the rain bother it? Because if it's rain proof, so to speak, then maybe it's a better option under some circumstance, even if it's slightly more expensive, if it is. Daniel, plus you don't have to wait the 24 to 48 hours for it to cure. 8 hours for concrete normally it's usually pretty well set for that, but wouldn't dream of taking the stays off for a few days. I mean, in fact, the stays are still on at the moment. That's one of the jobs we'll get done at some point today or tomorrow. Probably when Ben gets here, we'll take them off. So they'll be on for a week, which is more than ample, to be fair. Daniel, Sicker post fence mix sets in 3 minutes and cures in 2 hours. Well, that's a massive advantage. That could well be the reasoning to be using that. Definitely a good idea. Obviously, you've got to work quick though, haven't you? Marcin, Andy, have you ever thought about making live projects on stream on that lathe behind? I haven't, in all honesty. Live TV it inherently goes wrong, and I like my videos to try and portray things that go right rather than failed projects. Although I have considered doing a live stream of just in the workshop for the day doing stuff, whatever that stuff is, and having a live stream, and then maybe once every half an hour or something, just going back to the comments. It could be on the cards. It won't be happening today, that's for sure. But maybe when things warm up a little bit, and maybe I'm on a longer holiday period, I've got a bit more time. I don't know. Maybe we could do that. It might be really boring. It might be pretty good. It might be okay. I just don't know. It could be worth a try. It'd be a very, very long live stream, that's for sure. We'll have to wait and see. I'll put that one under my hat, and in this case, cap, and we'll have a little think. Maybe. Good idea. Aft has been down to 8 and lower last couple of days here in Adelaide. It's currently 12, but definitely feels colder than that. Is it windy? Because the wind really makes it feel a lot colder, doesn't it? Harry Darg, 30 days for concrete to dry fully. Good to know. That means basically the gate posts that we set, they should be well set now, the concrete, which is good because the gate's already hanging on them. But they're massive posts that go down over 1 metre into the ground, and there's probably 4 or 5 mixes of concrete around those posts. A lot of weight down there. Those posts are not going anywhere. Aft, yes, windy and should be rainy all day. A nasty, cold, wet, horrible day then by the sounds of it. Not fun at all. No fun outside, that's for sure. Okay. Cheers, Colin. If any of you have not watched any of the Colin Furze videos, he's a top bloke. He's an inventor. He makes stuff. For the last sort of 12 months, he's been doing other projects as well, but his main project has been building tunnels under his property to his man cavey thing that he built, his bunker, and under his workshop, and linking it to the house. And he's got some big ideas for those tunnels. I think one of the things that he's doing is on his driveway, he's going to put a giant lift in there, so his car, which will be the DeLorean, no doubt, will be down under the drive, and then he'll be able to get in the car from his tunnel and then lift the car up to normal driveway height and drive off. I think that's his plan. Not a spoiler alert, it's just what I'm guessing is going to happen. And that'd be very cool to see. He's a clever bloke, he really is. He used to be a plumber, from memory. And now he's a YouTube hero, in all honesty. He's done a great job. Now then. Marcin, am I correct, Andy, that you are a lecturer at university? I used to be a lecturer at Unitec for 5 years, teaching automotive. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Did it for the kids, nothing else. I had a great time, met lots of great new techs going into the industry, and had a real fun time learning with them. I mean, it wasn't fun every day. Some days were hard work, But in the main, we had a good time and they learned a lot. And I didn't just teach them what they needed to know to pass their exams at the end. I tried to make them, sort of as savvy as I could when they were going into industry. And we had a really good success rate of the students getting permanent jobs within our industry, the automotive industry. And I still hear from a few of them even now, which is great. It's really great to see. Just wanted to put back into the industry, a little bit of my knowledge that I've gained over the years and that people have helped me to learn. Because, we're all in this together. And there's a massive shortage now of technicians, motorcycle and car technicians here in New Zealand. It's almost at tipping point. I would say that most garages, most motorcycle shops are at least one tech short, especially a senior tech, and it's not good at all. It's really starting to harm the industry. Simon Raw just got in. Hi crew, good morning, Simon. Just a quick recap. We've got a Bonnie coming into the workshop in the next few weeks where it's got a gearbox problem. So it sounds to me like it could be a full engine rebuild. So Simon, I'm going to be calling upon you for some assistance. Might even be like a live stream kind of a call. Who knows? We'll see how things pan out, or a video call, and we'll get you on a video. Because I've not done one of those before. I'm pretty sure it's damn simple in there, being an old British bike. But there might be a few little quirky bits that I'm not familiar with, that I'm not aware of. So you might be able to help me with that. Give me a few of your top tips, because Simon is a phenomenally experienced and knowledgeable motorcycle mechanic. And I do draw on his knowledge on a regular basis. George Bonnie 90, have you ever thought of doing tool haul videos on your tools? So what you mean, like a toolbox tour? Yes, we've done those. There's obviously more tools in the workshop now than there was when I did those videos. And I think we did like 6 videos. There was so much to get through. I don't have any plans at the moment to do any more of those. I do the odd tool review video, but that's about it really. Marcin, Colin Furs is loco. Positive meaning, absolutely. He's mental, some of the stuff that he makes, but great fun, really great fun. Daniel, I don't know where you are, but as far as I'm aware of where you're installing fence posts, at least for my area, I have to dig a 3-foot hole to get underneath the frost line. We don't really have a problem with frost here. It's only very much on the surface. Most holes for the fence posts, when we were doing the fence, would have been probably the same, probably about 70 centimeters, 700 mil deep, which isn't quite as deep as what you're doing yours. The big gate posts, they were certainly over 1 meter into the ground. And the concrete butted up to the path that runs outside the house as well. So there was a lot of stability there. And they are absolutely rock solid. Those are 12-inch by 12-inch treated timber, the gate posts, the big ass bits of wood. Harry, there's new tools out called Vice Grip. They're extremely nice, lifetime warranty, and just got a set. Vice Grips. I know what Vice Grips are. We've got some. Let's go and find them. I've got Vice Grips from England. Let's just turn you around. Boom. So this is what you mean. They should be in here, hopefully. I know there's some Teng Tool ones as well, but the old ones are Vice Grips. This looks like an old pair. Yes, there you go, look. A pair of Vice Grips. All the way, made in the, where the hell are they made? USA? 75 years. Universal locking tools. Did it say where they're made? I can't remember now. Can't really read that. Can you read that? I can't read that. Something Co. But they've done a great job. One thing when you're buying Vice Grips is the jaw. A lot of Vice Grips don't have, sorry chaps, they don't have the little teeth right on the end of the jaw. It's usually, some of them are quite a flat in this area here. And I find that incredibly annoying, and it dramatically reduces the gripping ability for small pieces. So when you're buying any kind of similar tool to this, Vice Grips or whatever, make sure that they've got these little serrations in the jaws at the end. Very, very important. I wonder if I've got any that haven't got that. No, these are Teng Tool ones. and they've got the serrations at the end as well. Look, what else have we got? Oh, another vice grip there. Look, you see, Peterson. There we are. We're back. Sorry, Facom. These are like an auto adjusting ones. These are pretty good. I only use them for certain jobs. Have these got the? Geez, have these got the serrations? They have. I'm usually pretty good when I'm buying vice grips. Ah, here we go. Look, vice grip, the original. Different logo on there. Look, so maybe a copy. Not sure. These ones don't. They're flat at the end, and they're terrible. Hardly ever use those. Not good. Any more? No, some more Teng ones. What are these? This is my Wrangham drawer, by the way. What have we got here? Oh, that's another pair of Teng tools. They'll be the same. Any more? What are these ones? Ah, these are like a generically crap pair. They're probably, I don't know where these came from. 10-inch ones. Haven't even got a brand name on them. Just blank. Very lightweight. Although they have got the serrations, but they just don't feel anywhere near as sturdy as the other ones. Don't know where these came from. Don't remember. So there you go. Vice grips. Instant live TV, you see. Reactive TV. You ask me a question, and I show you what I've got. How cool is that? Oh, how's my coffee doing? So did that answer your question? Vice grips made in the US of A. Where do we get to? Oh, hang on. Got to scroll back. You've been busy. JJ, what Unitex site did you work at? We had a campus on the North Shore, which I worked at. Rosedale? Was it Rosedale? Or I can't remember. Somewhere up there. Albany, basically it was. And also Mount Albert was where I first started, but I soon got moved across to the North Shore because that needed someone of my abilities that could teach all different subjects rather than just teaching just engines or just gearboxes. I could teach the whole course, which made it a lot more interesting for me. And I got to stay with the students, kept the same class for a whole year, which I thought was really good. Mike Adams, Andy, I have to disagree with you a little bit on a live stream how-to video. Yes, it would be great if it was an all go right to teachers, but the mistakes would also be just as important for all to learn. That's really interesting. Thank you, Mike. Obviously, you know, I don't like it when things go completely awry, but it's not often that happens. And certainly, if it was a live stream, you would get you'd be joining me on the journey of working stuff out, rather than just showing you the final product or you know the thought processes that go on off camera. So, Mike, you could well be right. Maybe we should do some of those. Daniel, that means each hole that I have to dig out for a post has to be a minimum of 8 inches in diameter and 3 feet deep for the 15 posts. Digging out an 8-inch hole, man, I can't get me shovel in that. I have to dig a much bigger hole than that. Do you have oh, you're using an auger, that's right, a manual auger, a 2-man auger. So yes, you could do that with that, yeah, okay. That would definitely save quite a lot of volume. My post holes are a lot bigger than that. I have got an auger for the back of the tractor, Trevor. It's a 40 centimeter diameter auger. It's a big ass auger, but there's no way I could use that close to the house. And I'm really pleased that we didn't, because the first hole we dug, we found a drainage pipe. The second hole we dug, we came across the sewerage pipe. And the fourth hole we dug, we came across a water pipe. So can you imagine the catastrophe if we'd used the auger on those? It would have destroyed those pipes and we'd have had water leaks all over the place. So that's the reason. But because Ben said, hey, you're not going to use the auger for this? You know, make it easy. And I said, no, it's too close to the house. There's going to be stuff down there. And there really was. Good call. Experience, you see, just working stuff out and just take it easy. And it wasn't that hard to dig. Pretty easy to dig down. Simon, old Brits are not my strong point. 70s, 80s, and 90s Japs. Yes. Well, Simon, looks like we're going to learn together. Marcin, Simon, old Brits have nice. Old Brits have nice to talk to them about tea and cakes. Funny. Daniel, sorry, but my ears perked up because I heard Vice Grip. Immediately, I thought about VGG, Vice Grip Garage YouTube channel. Haven't heard of them. Need to check it out. Thank you. Harry Darg, no, they sell a whole set of sockets and all ratchets. Ah, a nice set. Love mine. Vice Grip. So Vice Grip now are selling sockets and ratchets and stuff. Didn't know that. Okay, good to know. Peter Swatman, what came first, Vice Grips or Mole Grips? Yeah, you see, mole grips. We used to call them. I used to call them mole grips in the UK. Don't know why. Never tried to grip a mole with them, but you know that was just the name. But I suppose since living here in New Zealand, I've sort of changed what I call them. I call them vice grips now. Mole grips. I try and call them mole grips more because that's an English way of doing it. Simon Rule. The thing is, doing any job, things can go tits up. I can say that in seconds. Tends to be when their mate has had to go first. Yes, somebody else has been in there already. Never good. I have been told that Bonnie has had a full rebuild. However, poor Alan has had a fair few problems with that bike. So I don't think it's had a full rebuild to any kind of quality standard. So that engine and gearbox may tell us a lot of stories. Could be interesting. Might be a whole lot of work on my part. I don't know how things are going to pan out. Hopefully it won't take 18 months like the CB750 did. Because I haven't got time for it. Overbuilt Automotive. Well, just seen you on live, so I have to say, Andy, hi to my fellow grease monkeys. Good morning. Hope you're all good, matey. And yes, there's quite a few of us on here today. It's a good morning. It is, man. We had a mediocre pie, and it's bloody freezing down here, hence the jacket. But we're having a good chat, that's for sure. Peter Swatman, I actually have a couple of sets made by Mr. Mole. Good man. Quality. Overbuilt Automotive. My favorite YouTube channel is my friend Duke's channel, World Bigfoot Radio. He's a hoot. Yes, there's a lot more entertaining people on YouTube than me, I can tell you that. Roger Heaps, if I remember, Triumph use a lot of odd-sized bolts and left-hand threads. Oh, thanks, Roger. Thank you for that very much. I'll keep my eye open for those. I've told Alan I'm not putting a spanner on it until I have a workshop manual, so I need that. Simon, the good thing is the gearbox and engine are 2 units. Oh, that's good to know. I wasn't aware of that. That might make life a lot easier. Cool. What are we up to? 1 hour and 53 minutes. This was supposed to be a short live stream. I've got painting to do. Okay, well, we really should call it a day, in all honesty. No more messages. It's been a good talk, hasn't it? Been a good get together this morning. Lots of input from you guys. Thank you very much for that. But really, I have to crack on. I've got to start mixing paint and tidying my bench and see if I can get those verniers to work. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Very strange. Maybe it's too cold for them. The other ones work fine. Don't know. Anyway, what was that one? JJ, use YouTube for the Bonnie rebuild. Plenty of vids on there. I will. I'll do a bit of research too, but I'd like to have the workshop manual so I can include that in the videos, step by step as we do. Do it right and do it once. Matt Bain, how do Squire? What? How do Squire? How do Squire? As in, Squire is an English term for a gentleman or a young gentleman. I'm not young anymore, but how do Squire? I'm doing just fine, Matt. Thank you. Harry Darg, it's 6:30 p.m. here in Florida. Thank you, Harry. Matt Baton, enjoyed listening in. Thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that. Overbuilt Automotive. Check out the World Bigfoot Radio. Randy Caveman episodes are good. Okay. Simon Roll. It's an old or a new Bonnie? I believe it's an old one. JJ, great show, Andy. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate that. George Bonnie 90. Later, guys. See you next week. Cheers, George. I've got your address now, your email, so I'll get that cap off to you next week. Daniel Bedell, did you know that Vice Grip is the name of the company who actually makes the tool, and now it's used to describe the tool itself? A useless fact about the tool. Same as like sellotape and stuff in England and Tipex. You know, a very common brand, or Hoover, for example, for your vacuum cleaners. Very common brand becomes the name of the functioning item, doesn't it? Very impressive. Scott, lots of thumbs up. Cheers, Andy. Thank you very much, Scott. George 190 thumbs up. I can't go quick enough. Mike Adams, you enjoyed it going overtime on live feed, Andy. You deserve the break. Thank you very much, matey. Appreciate you joining us, Mike. Overbuilt Automotive, good day, mate. Do not party too much in Wanganui. I heard it's a Hell's Angel party place. Yeah, I think you could be right. Overbuilt, lol. Pete, thank you, Andy and crew. Have a great week. Thank you, Pete. Great segue. Time for me to go. Thank you all for your support for the channel. Really appreciate it. Apologies there's been no new videos for the last few weeks. Just too busy. It happens. I'll see you next Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Cheers, crew. Over and out.